Canto 8. Summary. As night draws near, the pilgrim notices a soul in the valley below rise and raise his palms to God in prayer. 2 angels then descend with drawn, though blunted swords, sent from heaven to protect the souls in the valley from a serpent that will soon come. Sordello leads the travelers down into the company of princes to converse with them while they wait for the morning. Dante meets his old friend Nino Visconti, who was the nephew of Count Ugolino from Inferno 33. They talk, and Nino begs Dante's prayers, as well as the prayers of his daughter Giovanna. The serpent then approaches, and Sordello tells Dante to watch as the angels, like celestial hawks, dive and expel it from the valley. After the angels return to their posts, another shade near the judge approaches the pilgrim. It is Curado Malaspina, a member of a family famous for their hospitality, with whom Dante the poet will live during his coming exile. The shade hints at the event that will lead to that occasion, still in the pilgrim's future. Canto 8. Night in the Valley of Princes. It was already the hour that returns the desire of sailors, their hearts melting, to the day they bade their sweet friends farewell. The hour a new pilgrim is pierced with love if he hears far away the Compline bell that seems to weep for the day that is dying. When I began to break off listening, to gaze at one of the souls who then rose and, with his hand, beckoned all to hear him. He joined together and raised both his palms, directing his eyes toward the east, as if he were saying to God, "I care for naught else." Te luces ante came forth from his lips, so devoutly, and with such dulcet tones, that my mind was wrapped in an ecstasy. And then the rest, sweetly and devoutly, followed him through all the rest of the hymn, keeping their eyes on the supernal wheels. Sharpen here, reader, your eyes to the truth, for the veil is now so extremely thin that to pass within is surely easy. Thereafter I saw that noble army once more look upward in silence, as if with anticipation, pale and humble. And I saw 2 angels come from on high and fly downward with 2 bright burning swords, the tips of which were broken and removed. Their vestments were as green as little leaves newly sprouted, and floated behind them, beaten and bestrewn with verdant feathers. One came to stand a little above us, and one touched down on the opposite bank with all the people contained in between. I clearly perceived each of their blond heads, but in their faces my eyes lost themselves, as powers are confounded by excess. "Both have come from the bosom of Mary," said Sordello, "to protect the valley against the serpent that will soon arrive. Wherefore I, who did not know by which path, spun around and tightly drew myself in, all frozen, to the trustworthy shoulders." Sordello again. "Now let us go down among the grand shades. We will speak with them. To see you will be to them a great grace." I only took 3 steps down, I believe, and was there below, and saw one staring just at me, wishing to know who I was. It was then the time when the air grew dark, but not such that between his eyes and mine it did not show what was hidden before. He made his way toward me, and I toward him. "Noble Judge Nino, how it did please me when I saw you not among the wicked." No gentle greeting was hushed between us. Then he asked, "How long is it since you came on the far sea to the foot of the mount?" "Oh," I said to him, "I came this morning through the sad places, still in the first life, that, so going, I may gain the other." And after my explanation was heard, Sordello and he both staggered backwards as people who are suddenly unnerved. The one turned to Virgil, and the other turned to one sitting near, crying, "Up, Conrad! Come and see what God has willed by his grace." Then he turned to me. "By that special thanks you owe him who keeps his first intention so hidden that there is no ford to it. When you are back there across the wide waves, tell my Giovanna to pray for me, in that place where the blameless are answered. I think her mother no longer loves me, since she has removed her white widow's bands, which she must yearn for once again, poor thing. From her one easily perceives how much the fire of love endures in a woman, if eye or touch don't often kindle it." The viper the Milanese bring to camp will not beautify the tomb as well as the rooster of Galura would have done. In this way he was speaking, his features inscribed with that righteous indignation which, in a measured way, inflames the heart. My greedy eyes were still fixed on the sky at that place where the stars are much slower, just like a wheel closest to the axle. My leader, "Son, why do you watch up there?" And I to him, "Those 3 little torches with which the pole here is fully ablaze." Wherefore he said to me, "The 4 clear stars you saw this morning are low over there, and these are rising up where those once were." As he spoke, Sordello came up to him and said, "Behold, there our adversary," pointing his finger so that he might see it. From that quarter of that little valley which was unprotected came forth a snake, perhaps the same that gave Eve bitter food. Through grass and flowers came the evil band, turning his head now and again, licking his backside like the beast that smooths itself. I did not see, and therefore cannot say, how the celestial hawks began to move, but I clearly saw both of them moving. Hearing the air split by the verdant wing, the serpent fled, and the angels turned around, both flying equally upward to their posts. The shade, who had drawn himself to the judge when he called, did not stop for one moment through the whole assault, gazing upon me. "So may the lantern that leads you on high find in your free will as much wax as is necessary to reach the polished peak," he began. "If you have a true report of Valdimagra, or of nearby parts, tell it to me, for I once was great there. I was called Corrado Malaspina, not Lantico, though I did come from him. I bore to mind the love that is here honed." "Oh," I said to him, "I have never yet been through your lands, but where in all Europe is one who has not heard of those places? The reputation that honors your house is shouted by the lords and the districts, such that those not even there hear of it. I swear to you, so may I go above, your honored people have not abandoned the value of the purse or of the sword. Custom and nature have so privileged them that, though the wicked head might twist the world, they alone go straight and scorn the wrong way." And he, "Now go, the sun will not lie down 7 times in that bed the ram covers, straddling it with all 4 of his feet, before this courteous opinion is hammered into the middle of your head with nails greater than the speech of others, if one does not stop the course of judgment."